Hello everyone, the story I'm going to share today is King Wu fought King Zhou. The Yellow Emperor, the great forefather of the Chinese nation, had a descendant named Cheng Tang who defeated Xia Dynasty and established Shang Dynasty, expanding the territory of the empire. The last ruler of the Shang Dynasty was King Zhou, who was born with super strength. He became king when he was 25 years old and moved to the capital of Zhaoge. At this time, people had peaceful and prosperous lives, and the weather was very good for crops. But in the later period of King Zhou's reign, he became obsessed with women, neglected government affairs, and caused widespread resentment among the people. It was said that one day, King Zhou went to the temple and worshipped goddess Nuwa. When he saw Nuwa's statue was very beautiful, he had a new thought and wrote an indecent poem on the wall of the temple. Nuwa was very angry when she saw the poem, so she directed a fox spirit named Zhaoge, who had cultivated for more than 1,000 years, to enter royal palace and bring ruin to King Zhou. From then on, King Zhou favored the beauty of Zhaoge and neglected state affairs while many of his royal followers were killed. This led to resentment from all corners of the nation. To indulge herself, Zhaoge asked King Zhou to build their tower palace, a 5-story structure. Thousands of workers died from the exhausting labor. Loyal ministers advised King Zhou against his construction, and as a result, they were all killed by Zhaoge. Resentment against King Zhou became more and more fierce. The celestial god of the origin thought that it was time for Shang Dynasty to be ended. He sent his disciple, Jiang Ziya, to help King Wen in defeating King Zhou, and also give Jiang Ziya the name list of immortals that was engraved with 365 names of divine beings. In the 11th year of King Wu Zhou tribe, he took advantage of the main force of Shang to conquer Dongyi, with the existence of Jiang Ziya and others. He marched eastward to reach Zhaoge, the capital of Shang Dynasty, with 300 chariots and 3,000 elite warriors. There are 5 major passes on the road. These 5 passes were the final obstacles on his way to defeat Zhou. Immortals from all walks of life came to help, and when they attacked Qinglong Pass, they successfully broke through with the help of Nezha. On the way, Shen Gongbao, another disciple of celestial god of origin, wanted to trick Ziya into burning the divine name list. He said to Ziya, "You're only proficient in part of 5 elements and can move the mountains and the sea, but I can take my head off and let it travel in the sky, then bring it back." Ziya said, "Can you show it to me? If it works, I'll listen to you." Shen Gongbao immediately took off his head and threw it to the sky, and it was rotating only for a little while before it became a small black dot in the distance. At this moment, the immortal of the south saw the head and became concerned that Ziya might be tricked into burning the divine name list. So he asked his son to change into a white crane. The white crane flew into the sky and retrieved Shen Gongbao's head. The immortal of the south told Ziya, "Shen Gongbao used a minor trick in hopes of cheating you. Now, if his head does not come back to him in an hour and 45 minutes, he will die." Ziya had great mercy and asked the immortal of the south to excuse Shen Gongbao and not to kill him. So the immortal had a white crane return the head to Shen Gongbao. In the 12th year of King Wu Zhou tribe, the princes and troops arrived in the capital, Zhaoge. They gathered on the outskirts of Zhaoge to hold a swearing-in meeting. King Wu said, "Now, King Zhou listened to Zhaoge in everything. He abandons his families and country, and leaves his fellow brothers and ancestors neglected. On the contrary, he listened to the slander and respect to the treacherous fugitives from all over the world. He valued them so much, trusted them, and put them in high position, allowing them to wreak havoc on the Shang people. Now, I, Jifa, will respectively carry out God's punishment. At that time, the army in Zhaoge city was made up of slaves and captives brought in temporarily. Although there were a lot, they were not in the mood to fight. They only hoped that King Wu of Zhou would break the gate as soon as possible. Under the strong deterrence of Zhou army, they all abandoned their helmets and armor and turned to attack King Zhou to provide internal support for King Wu. King Wu took advantage of the situation to attack King Zhou's army, and finally the army of Zhou was defeated. King Zhou climbed to Lutai and burned himself to death. The people in the city gathered on the outskirts of the city to welcome King Wu's army. So King Wu sent his ministers to tell the people of Shang, "God will bless you all." All people knelt down and worshipped. Afterwards, Xia built a station for granting positions on the immortals, and those famous warriors who died during the wars returned to their original divine positions one by one. Xia successfully helped in fighting King Zhou. Evidently, from this story, we can see that when the kings became tyrannical and cruel and continues to harm his people, God will bring disasters or send divines to the human world to wipe out the evil, modify the government outline, and God's people live in a new happy life. Thank you very much for listening to the story. More touching stories will be ready for you if you just subscribe it. Thank you again.